Hello, you beautiful souls, and welcome back to another episode of The Soulful Self. My name is Hannah, I'm your host, and today I'm going to be diving into something that I have been finding absolutely fascinating lately, an idea, a concept, a theory in which I hope to shape kind of my life around and use it as a little bit like an experiment. And I fully believe that to an extent this is true, and I think using this information you can almost hack the system, the matrix, the simulation, whatever it is that you want to call it. But I think we've come far enough, especially if you are here listening to this podcast. I'm sure you are aware that there are some deeper truths about reality, about this world, all this stuff coming to light, and it's not a coincidence. It is the age of Aquarius. We are here to shift. Things are about to change. We are coming into a period of history that has never yet been experienced, and it is really, really, really exciting that we get to be a part of it. And there has been a lot of talk about the fact or the idea that we are in a matrix. And I have been having this intuitive feeling and understanding of looking at life as if it is a game. Okay, I'm sure you have played the game of life before. You know, you pick your career, if you land on the space, you get a baby, twins, whatever, and sometimes life fucks you over. Sometimes you get bonuses that you weren't expecting, and you go around the sport adding little characters into your car. And then when you get to the end, it's retirement, and it's like whoever has the most money wins the game. And I'm just saying, hear me out. Like, what if our life is a game? What if we could look at life as if we are a game? We are an avatar playing a game. Because every single person's reality is different, okay? What I experience in my reality is different from what you experience in your reality, and from the next person, and so on. And this is because of different reasons, like the identity that we create for ourselves, the beliefs that we hold, and what you define as success will really dictate how that shows up in your life when you're being rewarded for something. So, with the deep understanding that we do, in fact, create our own realities and that we do live in some sort of simulation or a matrix, because you can't deny it anymore. And if you're denying it, maybe you gotta do some psychedelics and open your mind a little bit more. So, when we're coming into this understanding, it can be a lot. It can be overwhelming because there is so much of your life that might have to fall away as you learn how to play the game and up level and move to these next chapters or next levels of the game. This is something that I have yet to master. I'm only just starting to think of everything from this perspective. I know, and I have known for a while, that we do create our own realities. I see the evidence of it in my own life based off of beliefs that I hold, patterns that show up for me, lessons that I have and still have to learn. But I thought that sharing this idea of looking at life this way with you would also help me put it all into words so I have a deeper, better understanding for myself, but also be fun for you because maybe you also want to try out this experiment. And maybe I do this for a full year, and then next year I will update you guys how well this has gone for me living my life looking through this lens of perspective. So, when it comes to choosing our character, choosing our avatar, this is all centered around our identity. And no, I am not talking about gender, and we're not going there. When I'm talking about identity, it's the things that you are saying and affirming to yourself every single day in deciding who you are and how you want to show up in the world. So when I'm talking about myself, I say things like I am a healer, I am a dancer, and there are titles in which that I want to grow into. So this is parts of my identity that I need to start affirming to myself so that it becomes a normal part of my reality, such as I am an influencer, because I know that me sharing my voice and being able to reach more people means that I need to be able to show up on social media, share my voice in all different platforms, and be able to reach a broader audience, because I know the wisdom that I spread is meant to be heard by many. So, whatever it is that you want to do in this life, whatever it is that you want to be in this life, start thinking about that and start shaping your identity around whatever that is for you. The way that you speak to yourself matters, and it is like power upgrades for your avatar, okay? So if you're saying things like, I am depressed, I am poor, I am fat, I am whatever, you're giving your avatar a thumbs up that you are these things, okay? And your reality is going to bend that to be true for you. So be so careful about what you choose to identify as. Choose to say things like, I am kind, I am intelligent, I am lucky, I am abundant, I am whatever the career is that you are trying to step into, whatever the next phase of life is for you. I am a mother, I am an auntie, I am whatever. That gets to be your avatar, and it doesn't need to be what mine is, it doesn't need to be what anybody else's is. You get to decide your reality. So ask yourself these questions: who do I want to be? What do I want to become in this life? And start identifying as it, because you are choosing your character. You are choosing who plays the game for you. Okay? You can put the work in, make the decisions to have a healthy body, to be able to move your body freely without pain and suffering. Okay, we make those decisions every single day by whether or not we exercise, how well we eat, all these different parts of all these different decisions that we make every single day in our habits, in our nutrition, all these things. This is also part of our identity, because if you say I am healthy, if you identify as I am moving into a role as a holistic practitioner, so every decision I make, when I identify as a holistic practitioner, I'm not going out and drinking alcohol on the weekends, because do you think a holistic practitioner is doing that? No, they're not. I'm sitting in front of my red light therapy right now while I record this podcast, and I'm habit stacking all these different things that I can into my day, so that I'm taking steps every day to have a healthier body, to step into this role, because I have to first heal myself as a practitioner to better understand how to help others. And this, I could go into this forever. The next thing I want to talk about is success, because what does success mean to you? I think that however you define success can really be dictated to how success shows up for you when you're quote unquote winning in the game. So if all you care about is money and all you're focused on is money, then maybe your success shows up as money and that's it. However, there's not a limit on this, and abundance comes in all forms. But if we are putting the limitation on my success equals money, then that's the only way maybe that it shows up for us. Again, this is just a theory, okay? But this is how I see it. So we want to really think about what means we are successful. Is it the fact that you have money, or is it financial freedom? Is it time freedom? Is it to be healthy? Is it to have all these wonderful, amazing people that love you and care about you and accept you the way that you are? Is it having your dream home? Is it driving the car of your dreams? It doesn't matter what it is. You can choose what success looks like for you, and it doesn't have to be one singular thing. But pay attention to what you define in your mind as success? Are you attaching your worth to specific things? Because that could be holding you back as well. You have to know that you are worthy enough to have whatever it is that you desire. And worthiness is a level of the game, okay? When you can understand that you are worthy as you are, and like the better you get from there, even better. But like you have to love yourself where you're at, and then this whole next level of the game can explode, and there's always going to be more, more. Okay, I see the levels of the game as being life lessons. So, we are souls having a human experience. I can guarantee you this is probably not your first time having a human experience or some other being as an experience. And there are all these kinds of life lessons that we have to learn, whether it be in this life, past lives, or next lives. We are here to learn, or else we wouldn't be coming to these earthly realms. We're in this space to learn, to grow, to try and understand. And every level of the game is like when you up level, you have learned the lesson, you understand the pattern, you are growing, you are making better decisions for yourself, and then boom, you're on the next level. So if you find yourself kind of in a loop where you feel like you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, it might be a really big sign that it's time to move on and do something else, because you're ready to move up to the next level of the game. And that can be really difficult because it does mean that you sometimes, most times, have to leave things, people, whatever behind. Okay? If people aren't growing with you, if people aren't evolving with you, you have to let them go, or they're going to keep you trapped in that level of the game. That doesn't mean you can't love them from afar. That doesn't mean you can never see them again. They are not vanishing from your entire reality necessarily. Although I do believe in this theory that like when you're done, your whatever connectedness with somebody, when you've taught each other everything there is to know, you'll never see them again. So that's an interesting concept to think about. And I've had a lot of cases that that's happened for me in my own life. But back to levels of the game. When you decide that you are worthy of more, when you decide to step up to that next level and unlock the next level of the game, don't fear the letting go of, because that fear and that not letting go is keeping you stuck on the lower levels of the game. We want to move on. There will be even better of whatever it was that you had that you're holding on to in that next level. And sometimes that can be hard to comprehend because we get emotionally attached to people and jobs and experiences or whatever. But you have to learn to let go and move on. And this has been my life for the past 6 months. So trust me, it's not easy, but it is something that unfortunately we have to do. The next thing that I want to talk about is non-player characters. Okay, I'm sure you've heard people talk about NPCs before, and I'm not somebody who really plays video games. Never really have been. But from my understanding, it's like characters in the game that are not being played by somebody with a controller. They're just essentially there for part of the plot. Maybe they have information to tell you, but they're not. If I was going to look at it this way, essentially, it's like there's not a soul in that body. And I'm not saying there's not a soul in that body. It's just that maybe the soul in that body has nothing to do with your soul and what your soul has to do. So maybe it's like a really good example of non-player characters are people in the store. Okay, not everybody in the store that's there at the same time as you is meant to interact with you or have a big imprint in your life. However, they might be there to trigger you and bring something to your awareness, because I don't know about you, but I get hella triggered in the grocery store. Probably because I'm being reminded of all the poison that's being put in our food, but we're not going to go there right now. Okay, so be aware of non-player characters. Okay, when you're looking around at people, it's like most people have nothing to do with what's going on in your life. Most people don't give a fuck about what's going on in your life. Most people are just kind of there. And I think it can make being brave, being bold, being authentically yourself a little bit easier because it's like, I'm here to play the game, I'm here to win, and all these other people essentially almost don't really matter in what's going on because they have their own world, they have their own reality. Maybe we're not even playing the same video game, okay? So, non player characters are just like avatars with nothing attached to you. And I think it's like a really interesting way to look at it because I, as somebody who's empathetic and gets really emotionally attached to the state of the world, it can be a little easier for me to comprehend when I can tell myself that there are non-player characters. And I don't know, again, this is all just a theory. So it can also, non-player characters can also be somebody who is meant to be a mirror or a trigger, like I said about going to the grocery store. But sometimes we just need that little reminder of where it is that we need to grow and what it is that's going to get us to that next level. So these non-player characters are there to say the thing, to make the mean comment, to do whatever it is that triggers you, to like put that fire under your ass to do whatever it is you need to do. So that can also be another reason for non-player characters showing up in your life as well. So now I'm going to move on to beliefs. Okay, beliefs dictate so much about our life. What we believe to be true will show up in our life. Evidence will start to show up in our life. This is partially because we are literally designed to pick up on patterns. I'm also a Gemini and a projector, so patterns are literally my gift from the universe. I am so good at patterns in myself and people and everything. I used to beat my parents at pattern games when I was a small child. Like, it's just been something I'm always been so gifted at. And our beliefs shape our entire reality because when we believe something to be true, your brain, your reticulating activation system will literally look for, without you telling it to, evidence of that to be true. Because we know we live in a world of fucking so much information. Okay, there's so much information out there that you can prove literally anything to be true. So when you hold these beliefs in your mind, whatever it is you're holding in your mind, your brain is looking for proof for that to be true because you want to be right. So we're going to use this to our advantage and we're going to be so fucking delusional. We're going to be so delusional that we're going to start to believe insane things that are going to help us hack this matrix, that are going to help us jump up 100 levels in the game so fast. Be delusional and believe that you are so successful, that you are a millionaire, that you are all these things, because the more that you believe that to be true, you'll start to see evidence in your life. You'll start to make decisions. Like, that's true when we go back to the identity part. And we also need to have this unwavering trust and faith that everything works out for us, that we are lucky, that the universe is on our side, that God is there to answer our prayers. We are being so delusional on purpose, and we are saying, whatever it is, the sky is the limit, you guys. Literally anything is possible. So ask yourself, what do I want? Write it down, claim it as yours, and start changing your beliefs to be around that to be possible. Be delusional, okay? And this is also why letting go of things helps with up leveling into the next level, because if you have people in your life that doubt you, if you have people in your life that are not supportive of your crazy wildest dreams, like if you told somebody, I'm gonna write the next Harry Potter series, and they look at you like you're crazy, that's not somebody that you want in your corner. You want somebody that's gonna hype you up and say, hell yeah, you are, and I'm gonna be there, you know, the day that you have your first book signing because I know you can do it. Like, this is the kind of people that we want to have in our life. And if people aren't living up to that level, like, get rid of them. I did talk a little bit about patterns, and the better that we are at patterns, the easier that the game becomes, because every level is a life lesson, right? And we are looking for the patterns in our lives that keep reoccurring, because when there is a pattern that keeps happening in our life, it is a sign that there is a lesson there that we need to learn. And as soon as we can zoom in and figure out whatever the fuck this pattern is trying to show us, we can then move up to the next level of the game. We've learned that lesson. What's next? And then we can be standing there with our bat and we're looking around like, what's next? What are you going to teach me? What can I do? How can I get even better? How can I grow even more? And this is not thinking that like I am not worthy now and I have to be all these things in order to be worthy. No, 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 we're not going there. It's saying that we know there is always another level to the game. It's you can make more money, you can have more freedom, you can do more things, you can have a partner that is literally everything that you could ever ask for, and you're not settling for somebody that's just like, oh, yeah, we get along. No, we're not doing that. So the better you can look for those patterns, the better you can, the faster you can realize, like, oh, this is actually here to teach me something. This is maybe a non player character. This is maybe because I have a limiting belief that I need to switch out for something that is more liberating and freeing and encouraging. See, do we get it now? Are we understanding? It is all a game and we get to play the game. So, again, this is why we have to be good at letting things go. And another hack that I have that I see as like the currency of this reality is prayer and gratitude is what fills your cup. So this is like when you're playing a video game and you get like a little booster and it like fills your life bar up to 100. This is gratitude and prayer. It is being thankful for what you have right now. Everything. We should be grateful for everything, for the ground that we walk on, for the food that we eat, for our family, for our friends, for the people that have hurt us, because it's made us stronger. It made us grow. It made us be who we are today. Literally everything that has happened in your life up to this point has been to get you here, and now you're here and you understand that whatever happens from this point on is up to you. What a fucking gift that is, okay? Gratitude, okay? Pray. And you can pray in a way of thanking God for what you want. Thank you for having A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Maybe it's not true in your reality yet, but watch how fast it happens when you're thanking God like it already happened. Another trick in the game, okay? But when we complain, we drain. Okay? When we are complaining, when we're in a state of lack, when everything's always wrong, nothing's going my way, nothing's working out for me, blah, 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 you are draining your energy so fast. You are moving backwards in the levels, okay? You are not going to be getting to these really awesome levels of the game where you have all this time and money and freedom and just straight up abundance in all aspects. Okay, that's not happening if all you can see is the glass half full. Okay, this is also why prayer and gratitude are always so important. Okay, so this is we're not complaining. It's one thing when something happens and it stresses you out to like share it with somebody else in order to get it off your chest or to write it in your journal to get it out of your physical body. That's important to learn how to have aspects of that to do just straight up for venting as a human. But when you are stuck in a victim mindset or a lack mindset or a oh poor me mindset all the time, you're just letting yourself live in a living hell. You're giving your reality permission to vibrate at such a low vibration, and we're not here for that. Nuh-uh. Especially not if you're listening to this podcast. That's not the kind of life that we are trying to live. So we're not going to do that. We don't want to complain. We want to pray. We want to practice gratitude. And I think all of these things together are going to make playing the game of life so much easier and so fun, okay? Life doesn't need to be so serious. Do you think we literally came here to pay taxes, to be stressed out, to have jobs that we hate, to be miserable and chronically ill and blah, blah, blah? No, no. They're trying to keep you stuck in the low level of the game, okay? But you don't have to be. You can decide right freaking now that is no longer your reality. That is no longer true to you. You are no longer there. You are moving up and up and up and up and up. And I am here to cheer you on throughout this journey, okay? I am here to be your spiritual bestie cheerleader coach, okay? I am here on the sidelines telling you you can freaking do it because you literally can. If I can do it, if you can do it, anybody can do it, okay? And we are here to be living some beautiful, amazing, abundant, crazy life. I didn't come here again. I didn't come back to Earth just to suffer and cry and think the world is ending. Is there crazy shit going on in the world? Yeah. And my inner conspiracy theorist is freaking pumped all this information is coming out to light, okay? I can't wait to see what's unfolding. I could be scared, I could be worried, I could be sad, all these things. I'm not. I'm excited because fuck all these people that have been doing messed up stuff and not getting away with it. That's not happening anymore. Not in my reality, not in the game I'm playing. So maybe you want to stay on a low vibrating level, you stay there, but or else you can come with me and we're going up, baby. We are freaking moving on in to a life that is so good. It's insane that if I told you my life, it could sound like a friggin' movie because I'm deciding that. Okay? And maybe I sound absolutely insane and maybe I am just a little bit, but what? What's the point? Why else are we here if not to try, if not to learn, if not to grow? And I think looking at life as a game and seeing everything through this perspective can really help to make life fun, take the stress off, and make it easier to focus on how you can up level a game. So that's everything for today. I love you all so much. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any comments, questions, whatever, you're always welcome to reach out to me. I love chatting with you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.